Today we're going to talk about applying for financial aid and scholarships, how to receive your financial aid and scholarships, and how to maintain eligibility for your financial aid and scholarships. As you can probably tell, going to college is pretty expensive, and what you see in front of you is not the cost you owe to anybody. This is more of an estimated budget. Our office uses these numbers as a guide to know about how much financial aid you may need for the year to cover tuition fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, and any personal expenses that you may have throughout your year. So we've established that you may need financial aid to help cover some of your educational expenses, but what exactly is financial aid? Financial aid is money from federal and state governments, the institution of higher education, and private resources that assist in helping families meet the cost of a student's education. So there are three main types of financial aid. They're grants, work study, and loans. Grants, and there's a variety of them, are need-based, and these are funds that the student does not have to repay. There's work study, which is again a need-based award, but it provides the student the opportunity to be an active participant in meeting the cost of their education, so they'll work and earn a paycheck that can help pay some of their costs. And lastly are loans, and this is borrow money that must be repaid. And the types of loans we'll address today are federal student loans, which you'll hear referred to as direct Stafford loans, and Parent Plus loans. And there's a lot of information about interest rates, loan forgiveness, repayment, and they change year to year. We're not going to go over all those options today, but you can always visit www.studentaid.ed.gov for more information. Now, how do you apply for these types of financial aid? You'll only need to complete one application for consideration for all three. It'll be the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. You can complete the FAFSA once every year you plan on attending. It's available beginning on October 1st. You can access it at www.fafsa.gov. It will ask for income information, which we will go over in a moment. And UNT's priority date is January 15th. January 15th is not a deadline. You can complete the FAFSA throughout the academic year. However, for the best consideration for financial aid, getting your application submitted between October 1st and January 15th gives you the best opportunity. When you're completing the FAFSA, you'll need to put in your income tax information from 2 years prior. So if you're completing a 2019-2020 FAFSA, it'll ask for your income tax information from 2017. For students whose citizenship status is undocumented, who also attended a Texas high school, you will not be eligible to complete the FAFSA, but you may be eligible for financial aid through the Texas application for state financial aid, or TASFA. All the deadlines and availability are very similar to the FAFSA. It's available once per year, beginning October 1st. You can go online to financialaid.unt.edu/howapply to access more information, and will require the same prior income information, and the priority date again is January 15th. If you're planning on attending for summer 2019 and I'm hoping to access 2019 summer financial aid, you'll need to complete the 18-19 FAFSA at fafsa.gov. The deadline for this application is July 8th. Again, you'll use prior income information, and you'll also need to complete the financial aid summer application. This is available on your MyUNT portal at my.unt.edu. A screenshot is available on the screen. It's very simple. You just answer yes or no, I want to receive summer aid. Let us know the enrollment you anticipate enrolling in for summer and hit submit, and we'll take care of the rest. For summer 2019, you'll want to do the 18-19 FAFSA, which will require 2016 income information. There's typically more than one FAFSA available to complete at a time. So if you're having trouble deciding which one you need to complete, you can reference this chart that'll let you know which year you need to complete for when you anticipate enrolling and which income information will be required for that year. You can also come see us at the Student Financial Aid and Scholarships Office, and we can help you determine which FAFSA you need to be completing as well. Now we're going to go over scholarships and how to apply for some scholarship opportunities. There are 3 types of scholarships that we'll go over. The first is university scholarships. You can apply for university scholarships by completing the general scholarship application each year, and you can learn more by going to scholarships.unt.edu. If you have specific scholarship questions for university scholarships, you can also email us at scholarships@unt.edu. The other 2 types of scholarships are departmental and external. For departmental, you'll need to contact your department of your major regarding opportunities, eligibility requirements, and deadlines. And external scholarships, these can be from private organizations, employers, and can be scholarships awarded from applications you've filled out online. If you are awarded a university or departmental scholarship, the Student Financial Aid and Scholarships Office will handle the processing of that award for you. But if you are awarded a scholarship by an outside agency, there's a few extra steps to be aware of. If the scholarship that you are awarded hands you a check and a letter, you'll need to bring that to our office to process, and just be sure your name and student ID is included on the check and on the letter. If the external scholarship donor wants to send the check and information directly to UNT, there's a few items they should be aware of. We need to make sure we have your full name, UNT ID, and or date of birth on all the information, guidance regarding what academic terms the award is to be applied to, and information confirming if this is a one-time payment or if it's renewable. Also, we'll need the agency contact information so that we can contact them regarding any questions they may have. The donor should make the scholarship check payable to the University of North Texas. And if they give the check directly to you, please do not deposit it and bring it to the Student Financial Aid and Scholarships Office so we can best determine how to help. So now that we've talked about what financial aid is and how to apply for it, your next steps is how to access it. The most important thing for accessing your financial aid is your My UNT student portal. This portal gives you access to your to-do list, access to accept or decline awards. If you take out any loans, all of your loan links will be there for loan counseling and master promissory notes. You can view anticipated aid in your bill. This is where you complete your summer financial aid application, where you can view your satisfactory academic progress and access your message center as well. In addition to checking your My UNT portal often, you'll also need to check your official UNT email, which is called Eagle Connect, regularly. Important messages about your financial aid status will be delivered to your inbox. Official notifications from our office via email will begin replacing printed letters whenever possible. So please be sure you're checking your email and My UNT often. So most likely you'll enroll for classes and have a bill due prior to your financial aid being able to disperse. This is where pending or anticipated aid comes into play. Pending or anticipated aid are scholarships that you've been awarded or financial aid you have accepted, and Parent Plus loans that have received credit approval. What is not included as anticipated aid are Parent Plus loans that are just offered or have been denied, and College Work Study will not show up as anticipated aid. The importance of pending or anticipated aid is that if your aid is greater than your tuition and fee bill, then your classes won't be dropped even though your aid is not yet dispersed. However, if you do not have enough anticipated or pending aid to cover your tuition and fee bill, you will need to make arrangements where your classes do have the opportunity to be dropped before your financial aid disperses. Let's take a look at a few examples of the importance of pending or anticipated aid. The student's tuition and fees is highlighted in green at the top. Their total is $5,821. The student has a Stafford student loan for $2,750, work study for $2,000, and a Parent Plus loan for $6,000. We can see that the credit has not been approved for the Plus loan, so it does not count as anticipated aid, and work study also does not count as anticipated aid. So if you look to the right, tuition and fees minus the student loan keeps a balance on that student's bill. So this student's classes will be dropped unless they make payment arrangements for that $3,071. They can pay the remaining balance out of pocket with cash, check, or credit card, or they can utilize the installment plan or short-term loan options through Student Financial Services. Let's look at one more example of anticipated or pending aid. The student's tuition and fees, highlighted in green, is $5,821. They have a Pell Grant, a student loan, and a Plus loan. This time the credit's been approved for the Plus loan, so we do get to factor it in as pending or anticipated aid. So all of their aid is pending or anticipated aid. So after you take out all their financial aid from their tuition and fees, they do not have a balance remaining. So this student's classes will be secure. And if there's funds remaining, Student Financial Services would issue a refund to the student for the remaining monies. So now we'll go over how and when funds are dispersed to the student. So you'll accept your awards on your My UNT student portal. Make sure all your to-do list items are complete. If you've accepted loans, this means loan counseling and master promissory notes as well. Funds will begin dispersing to Student Financial Services to pay off your tuition and fee bill, and housing is sometimes included in this, about 1 week before classes begin. If you're expecting scholarship funds, these tend to disperse when you've established attendance in all of your courses, so you can expect scholarship funds within the first week of school. If there's any money left after your account is paid in full, a refund will be issued by Student Financial Services. If there's not funds left after the amount is paid in full, just make sure you have payment arrangements made through Student Financial Services if a balance was remaining. Let's quickly go over some limitations as to what financial aid can pay for. Financial aid cannot be applied to installment plan charges, short-term loan origination fees, memorial loan fees, late payment or default fees, excess hour tuition fees, or repeat course fees. So it is important to check your tuition and fee bill after your financial aid disperses to make sure a balance isn't remaining from one of these miscellaneous outliers. So now that you've applied for financial aid and received financial aid, what can affect your eligibility to receive financial aid in the future? There are several things we'll go over: satisfactory academic progress, dropping classes, withdrawing from the university, owing a prior year balance, exceeding loan limits, exceeding federal Pell Grant limits, and defaulting on loans. The first thing we'll go over is satisfactory academic progress, also known as SAP. There are 3 components, and you must maintain all 3 components to be meeting SAP. The first is GPA. You have to maintain a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.0 for undergraduate students and 3.0 for graduate students. In addition to GPA, there's pace of progression. This is to make sure you're moving along on your degree track so that you'll complete your program in time. So you must successfully complete at least 67% of your cumulative attempted credit hours. This is going to differ student from student, and we're always happy to sit down and talk with you about your specific degree plan and ways to make sure you're meeting satisfactory academic progress. The third component to satisfactory academic progress is your maximum hour limit. You must not have registered for, earned, or attempted more than a specific cumulative maximum semester hours as an undergraduate student. If you exceed the maximum number of hours allowed by your degree plan, your financial aid will be canceled. And you can check the status of your satisfactory academic progress on your MyUNT portal. Another component that can affect your future eligibility for financial aid are annual and lifetime loan limits. For dependent undergraduate students, their limits are listed on the left. For independent undergraduate students, the limits are listed on the right. These amounts go up $1,000 after your freshman year and $1,000 after your sophomore year. So there are yearly limits and lifetime limits to be aware of. You can always check your student loan history by visiting the National Student Loan Data System at nslds.ed.gov. In addition to loan limits, there are also lifetime Pell Grant limits. So the amount of federal Pell Grant funds you can receive over your whole lifetime is limited by the federal government to be about 6 years of Pell Grant funding. So if you attend full-time fall and spring for 6 years, you will run out of Pell Grant eligibility. Again, you can check your Pell Grant history by visiting the National Student Loan Data System at nslds.ed.gov. And the last piece we'll go over for affecting your financial aid is if you've had a default on any student loans. Defaulting on your student loans affects your future aid eligibility. It affects your ability to obtain transcripts and academic records. It could result in garnished wages and have a negative impact on your credit report. So if you've had student loans from other institutions and have taken some time off, make sure those loans are in good standing. Now, we understand that life does happen, and there are some special situations and circumstances that we can consider when reviewing your eligibility for financial aid. If you've had changes to income, that could be loss of job, a loss of parent, a loss of certain benefits, etc., we could review your need-based eligibility. If you've had extra expenses, medical or dental, school tuition, caring for somebody in your family, we can always readdress that financial aid budget I showed you at the beginning. And also, if you are going to be classified as a dependent student, but you have one of these extreme situations, we can consider changing your dependency status. You'll have to come visit our office at Student Financial Aid and Scholarships for information on how to apply for each of these special situations and how we can best help you. So I know we've covered a lot of information, so here are the most important things to remember today. File your taxes and your FAFSA or TASFA early and every year. Remember, you have to apply for financial aid and scholarships separately. Never pay anyone for assistance with the FAFSA, TASFA, or scholarships. It's what our office is here for. Keep copies of all correspondence with the federal processor and with financial aid office. Although it might be boring, review the terms and conditions of all your financial aid awards. There's some very good information there. Please, please, please check your MyUNT student portal and Eagle Connect regularly. And stay in contact with your academic advisor throughout your academic career. Make sure you're taking courses that are required for your degree and take advantage of UNT's tutorial services to avoid dropping or duplicating courses. If you need more information or forget everything we've covered because it's been a lot, know that we have office hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the first and second levels of the Eagle Student Services Center, and we love visiting with our students. You can also call us direct or toll-free, and you may also email us at financialaid@unt.edu or scholarships@unt.edu. And just make sure you provide us with your UNT ID number when contacting us via email. Thank you so much for your time, and remember, we are here and happy to help.